You have probably seen one of those videos by now, the ones where the second you step into your cruise cabin, the whole ship is somehow out to get you. Hidden sensors, secret charges, a con tucked behind every throw pillow, a warning about how they are coming for your wallet the instant you open the door. Let me calm that down for you right now. Your cabin is the single most controllable space on the entire ship. Nobody is lying in wait in there. It is a small room, and small rooms just need a little managing. That is all. Here is the part those scare videos wrap in fear but actually get right. The managing matters more once you are past 60 because now your knees, your sleep, your medication, and your bladder at 2 in the morning all have opinions of their own. The good news is that the cabin is the one place on the ship you can bend entirely to your body, and nearly every move that does it is free. One of them takes 30 seconds on your first afternoon and stands between you and a nasty fall in the dark, and I will get to that one. So let me walk you through the whole thing in the order you will actually do it, from the moment the door clicks shut behind you to the morning you pack up and go home. Number one, and this happens before your suitcases even arrive, pull out your phone and take a slow 60-second video of the whole cabin. Pan across the carpet, the furniture, the bathroom, the balcony railing if you have one, and say the date out loud while you film. Now, I want to be honest with you here because the scare videos will not be. Getting billed for damage you did not cause is rare. Ask anyone who has cruised for 20 years, and most of them have never once seen a charge like that. But rare is not never, and a scuff on the sofa that was there before you arrived is a 5-minute non-issue if you have it on film, and a genuinely annoying argument on your last morning if you do not. 60 seconds buys you the right to never think about it again. Film it, forget it, and go enjoy yourself. Number two is the safe, and you want to test it while it is still empty. Lock it, unlock it, make sure the little keypad responds and the door swings open clean. Then do the part almost nobody does and have your steward drop a fresh battery in it. The one already in there does not always get changed between guests, and a dead one with your things sealed inside leaves you stuck. Picture the couple who fly home at the end of a long cruise, land near midnight at an airport a couple of hours from their house, and reach for the car keys they had locked away in the cabin, safe for safekeeping. That little box had died midweek with everything sealed inside it. Now they are stranded in a parking garage, phoning a relative for a rescue that will not arrive with a smile. Test it empty, get fresh batteries in it, and then it is the safest spot on the ship for your passport, your cash, and those keys. Number three is where the real comfort comes from, and it costs you nothing but a friendly hello. Meet your cabin steward in the first half hour and make your requests right then. The good comfort items are in limited supply, and they go to whoever asks first. Ask on day one and you get the mattress topper. Wait until day 3 and you will hear they are all gone. So find your steward in the hallway, learn their name, be warm, and get your list in early. The mattress topper, if the bed feels like a plank, plus extra pillows, a robe, daily ice. If you use a CPAP machine, request distilled water each night and mention you will need the outlet near the bed sorted. And here is one many people never realize they can ask for at all. If standing in the shower is hard for you or your spouse, ask for a shower chair. A man I sailed with had brought his wife along a few months after her hip surgery, quietly worried about how she would cope. He mentioned it to the steward on the first afternoon, and a shower chair was in the bathroom within the hour. She showered safely every single day of that trip. The whole secret is to ask on the first afternoon, not the third. Number 4 is the famous magnetic hooks, which is a great trick that almost everyone tells you wrong. The claim is that cruise cabin walls are metal, so you can stick hooks anywhere and hang your hats, lanyards, wet swimsuit, and tote bag up off the floor and up at hand height, where you are never bending down for anything. That last part is the real gift after 60, because bending is the enemy and hooks bring your things up to you. But here is what they leave out. Not every wall will hold a magnet. Plenty of ships wrap the steel in a laminate that kills the pole, and the cruisers who swear the hack failed them usually just hit one of those walls. So test yours the moment you arrive. The bathroom door and the ceiling are almost always reliable when the walls are not. And buy the strong ones rated 50 pounds or more because you are pulling sideways on a wall rather than straight down, and a cheap hook will slide to the floor with your purse on it right when you least expect it. While we are hanging things up, Number 5 is the over-the-door organizer, the clear pocket kind meant for shoes. Hook it over the bathroom door, and it becomes the best storage in the cabin for the things you reach for constantly. Your medications, your reading glasses, sunscreen, cords, a hairbrush, all of it at eye level in see-through pockets instead of buried in a low drawer you have to crouch for. For a body that does not love bending and squinting, that pays off more than it sounds. There is one catch, though. A few lines have started banning the metal frame versions because the hooks can scratch the door and leave you with a charge for the mark. So bring the soft fabric kind with no metal hardware and you sidestep the whole problem. Number 6, pack your own toiletries and a bottle of hand soap most of all. A cruise cabin is not a hotel room. Many ships give you a wall-mounted dispenser of 2-in-1 shampoo and body wash and little else, sometimes just a thin bar at the sink and no liquid hand soap at all. If your skin has grown drier or more particular with age, and most of ours has, that mystery wash can leave you itchy by the 3rd day. So bring your own shampoo, conditioner, and lotion in small refillable bottles, and bring the hand soap you actually like. It weighs almost nothing, and it removes one small, needless misery from a week that should have none. Number 7, once the hanging is done, deal with your suitcases by turning one into furniture. Nest the smaller bag inside the larger one and slide the whole thing under the bed, which gets it off the floor, and a clear path genuinely matters when you are moving around a dark room at night. Better still, leave one suitcase under there open and empty and let it be your laundry drawer for the week. Every worn shirt and sock drops straight in. On your last morning, the dirty clothes are already packed, and the bag rolls off the ship and into your washing machine at home without you sorting a thing. The only snag is the bending to reach under the bed, so if that is hard on you, a pop-up hamper standing at hand height does the same job without the stoop. Have you ever ended a cruise feeling like the cabin was hopelessly small, only to hear your neighbor call theirs roomy? The difference is usually number 8, the hidden storage the cruise line never shows you. Cabins are designed by people who are very good at tucking space away, and they will not give you the tour, so open every door and drawer in the place. There are often drawers under the sofa and, on many ships, more built into the base of the bed at the foot. Look behind the bathroom mirror where there is frequently a shelf or a whole little cabinet. Check under the vanity and inside any ottoman. Every cubby you find is one more thing off the counter and out of your walking path, and the people who go looking in the week wondering how the same little room felt so much bigger than their neighbors. Number 9 is one nobody thinks to do, and your back will thank you for it. You can reconfigure the room to fit you if you want the 2 beds pushed together or pulled apart. Just ask, and the steward has a tool that links or separates them in about 5 minutes. If a coffee table or a nightstand is jutting into your path to the bathroom, ask them to take it away because an open lane matters more than a table you will never use. And here is the small one that adds up over a week. A lot of cabins now come with a backless stool at the vanity, which is fine for 2 minutes and murder on an older back for 20. Ask if they can swap it for a proper chair with a back. They usually can, and you feel it every time you sit down to do your hair or write a postcard. Number 10, give your cabin door a marker so you can find it again. Every door in that endless hallway looks identical, and after a long day in port, counting your way down the corridor while your feet ache is nobody's idea of a good time. Worse, the room numbers are often small and set at an angle that is hard on tired eyes, so put something of your own on the door, a bright magnetic decoration, a ribbon, a little seasonal magnet, anything that catches your eye from down the hall. It reads as festive, and plenty of people do it purely for fun, but the real payoff is spotting your room in a second every single time. Use magnets rather than tape because the sticky kind is banned on a lot of lines, and paper decorations can run afoul of the fire rules. If you take only one thing from this whole video, make it number 11. Set up your night lighting in daylight before you need it. A cruise cabin in the small hours is darker than anything you have at home. There is no street light leaking through the curtains out at sea and no glow from the hall, so it is truly pitch black in a room you have known for less than a day, and the bathroom threshold is usually raised a couple of inches off the floor, waiting to catch a bare toe. That is exactly how a steady, careful person ends up on the floor before dawn, and how a good trip becomes a bad one in a single wrong step. A fall at sea is not a small thing. So pack a little motion sensor light, the battery kind that clicks on when you move, and put it low on the wall along the path from the bed to the bathroom. Did you forget to pack one? A couple of battery tea lights from the dollar store on a low shelf do the same job. Set it up on the very first afternoon while you can still see what you are doing. Number 12 solves that same darkness in a different way, and it is a gift for anyone in an inside cabin who wakes with no idea whether it is dawn or the dead of night. Turn your cabin television to the bridge camera channel and leave it on with the sound all the way down. At night, it throws a soft glow across the room to steer by, and as the real sun comes up out at sea, the screen brightens right along with it, so an interior cabin gets something close to a window and a slow natural sunrise. Here is the part the other lists never mention, though. It does not work everywhere. On some lines, Holland America among them, the night camera washes the whole picture green and the set shuts itself off after a while regardless. So if yours does that, do not fight it and lean on the little night light instead. Number 13 is the air conditioning, worth testing the instant you arrive rather than at bedtime because the timing on repairs is genuinely cruel. Find the thermostat, crank it cold, and let it run while you unpack to confirm the room actually cools down. Report a warm cabin in the afternoon, and they will often quietly fix it while you are at dinner. Report it at 11 at night, and you may be waiting until 9 the next morning trying to sleep in a room that feels like a greenhouse. On many of the newer ships, there is a wrinkle worth knowing too. Open the balcony door, and a sensor cuts the air conditioning off completely because the ship is not about to cool the open ocean for you. So if your cabin turns warm and damp for no obvious reason, check that the balcony door is properly shut. You get the sea breeze or you get the cold air, but on those ships you do not get both at once. Number 14 is about quiet, because sound travels on a ship in ways it never does at home. Depending on where your cabin sits, you might get the rattle and thump of the anchor chain up front, the low grind of the engines toward the back, or the drag of pool furniture being stacked directly over your head at midnight if you are under the Lido deck. None of it is dangerous, but all of it will keep a light sleeper staring at the ceiling. A small white noise machine or a decent pair of foam earplugs turns the lot of it into a flat, steady hum you can sleep straight through. If you are a light sleeper, this belongs on your packing list right next to your medication, because a week of ragged sleep colors everything else about the trip. Now, while you are deciding what stays and what goes, here is one the fear videos actually stumble onto for the right reasons, and that makes it number 15. Take the decorative throw pillows and that folded runner across the foot of the bed and set them in the closet. Those pieces get a quick fluff between guests and a real cleaning only rarely, and hundreds of hands have been on them. You do not sleep on them anyway, so lose them, and if you want extra peace of mind, slip a pillowcase you brought from home over the cruise pillow you do sleep on. It is a 30-second move with no downside, and for anyone whose chest gets touchy around dust, it is a kind thing to do for yourself. That same first-day cleaning instinct carries into number 16, wiping down the surfaces everyone touches and nobody cleans. The steward works hard, but there are only so many minutes per cabin, and the fast turnaround means the sheets and towels get the attention while the little things get skipped. The remote control is the worst offender by a mile, followed by the light switches, the door handles, and the phone, all pawed by every guest before you and rarely wiped. A quick pass on your first day sharply cuts your odds of catching the stomach bug that sweeps through ships and knocks older systems flat for days. Here is where the scare videos get it wrong, though. Plain alcohol wipes do not actually kill norovirus, the usual culprit, so you want a bleach-based or hydrogen peroxide wipe, which means checking the label before you buy, and honestly, nothing protects you better than washing your own hands often and well. Number 17 brings us to charging, because cruise cabins are famously starved for outlets, and the few they have are never near the bed. Older ships in particular might give you a grand total of 2 or 3, all clustered over by the vanity. You used to solve this with a little power strip from home, but be careful there because the rules have tightened. Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, among others, no longer allow power strips or anything with surge protection, and they will pull it from your bag at security. What you can bring instead is a plain USB charging hub, several ports, and no surge protection, which is usually plenty. Pack one good long charging cable too, the kind that reaches from that faraway outlet all the way to your bedside so your phone charges right by your head, your alarm is within arm's reach, and you are not crossing a dark cabin at dawn to silence it. If you run a CPAP, that reach from outlet to bed is not a convenience, it is the whole night. So ask your steward for an extension cord on the first day. Number 18, take command of the mini fridge, one of the few genuine little traps in the room. On the newer ships, those fridges have sensors, and simply lifting out the welcome bottle of water to make room for your own things can ring up a charge whether you drink it or not. So do not rearrange it yourself. Ask your steward to empty the whole thing on the first day, and then it is yours to fill with your own water bottles, keeping a cold one ready for the night or for heading ashore. This matters double if you carry medication that has to stay cold. Do not wedge your insulin in among the censored bottles. Tell your steward you need the fridge cleared for medical use, and on most ships they sort it out, sometimes with a proper medical cooler. One request, and the trap becomes the exact thing you needed. With that fridge cleared and finally yours, number 19 is about what to keep in it, because dehydration is one of the quiet things that catches older travelers at sea. The sun, the salt air, a cocktail or two, and a day of walking a port all add up fast, and dehydration shows up as a headache, a wobble, or a fall long before you feel thirsty. You do not need the pricey drink package for this. Bring a good refillable bottle, fill it free at the buffet, and keep a cold one waiting in that fridge. If plain water bores you into not drinking it, toss a few powdered drink mix packets in your bag, the little tubes you stir into a bottle, and suddenly you are drinking enough without having to think about it. It is a small thing that quietly protects your balance, your head, and your energy for the next port. The fridge takes care of what needs to stay cold. Number 20 handles everything else that keeps you well, and it is your own little medicine drawer built on the first day before anything goes wrong. Pack a small pharmacy before you leave and give it a home in a drawer the moment you unpack. Pain reliever, antidiarrheal, antacids, motion sickness tablets, cold medicine, bandages, and a generous supply of anything you take daily. The reason is money and availability both. The ship's shop carries a thin, pricey selection and quite possibly not your brand, and a visit to the onboard doctor is not cheap for something an inexpensive tablet from home would have handled. There is a health angle beyond convenience as well. Think of the diabetic traveler whose blood sugar crashes hard on a longshore excursion, miles from any food, saved only because a couple of rolls got quietly tucked into a bag at breakfast that morning. If you manage a condition like that, your cabin drawer and your day bag are part of managing it, so stock them like it. Number 21, you can beat the wrinkles without an iron, which matters because you are not allowed to bring one. Irons and steamers are a fire risk at sea, so security confiscates them and you should leave yours home. The easiest fix is steam you already paid for. Hang tomorrow's outfit in the bathroom, run the shower hot for a few minutes with the door shut, and let the steam relax the creases while you do something else. A small bottle of wrinkle release spray works beautifully too, and you can make your own from water and a little fabric softener. In a pinch, the cabin hairdryer on warm, held a few inches off the fabric, will chase the crease out of a collar. And if you truly need a proper press for formal night, check whether your ship has a self-service laundry room, because plenty do, and a few lines will lend you an iron or steamer from the front desk for an hour if you ask. Wrinkles handled. Number 22 is the actual washing, done cheaply in the cabin rather than at the ship's steep prices. You do not need much for this. A few laundry detergent sheets, the flat papery kind, travel better than any liquid and will not leak across your bag. Wash socks and underclothes by hand in the sink, roll them in a dry towel to press the water out, and hang them on the retractable clothesline you will find inside the shower on most ships. Then there is the trick an old cruiser handed me years ago, the kind that never makes the glossy lists. Denture cleaning tablets are wonderful for sanitizing a reusable water bottle or travel mug, so drop one in with warm water and let it fizz overnight. Slightly odd, quietly useful, and it earns its place in your bag. Number 23 is where the real money quietly leaks, and it is almost never the big obvious charge. It is the small stuff dressed up to look free. That handsome bottle of water and the little dish of snacks on the desk are almost never complimentary, however much they resemble a welcome gift, and most drink packages do not cover them. If you do not want them, have your steward take them away on day one so nobody in your party absent-mindedly cracks one open. Room service is the other one to watch. Several lines now add a delivery fee, and I have seen it run somewhere around $10 or $12 a tray. That is not a reason to skip it. It means if you are paying the fee anyway, put in one proper group order with everything you want on it instead of paying that same fee 3 separate times because people ordered one at a time. The fee is charged per trip, not per item, so make the trip count. Number 24, sort out the bathroom before the bathroom sorts out the mood in your cabin. Cruise bathrooms are tiny, the door seals up tight, and 2 grown adults are sharing that little box for a week. You know exactly what I mean. A small bottle of the drops in the bowl spray or a travel air freshener you can tuck on the shelf keeps a small shared space pleasant and spares everyone the awkward moment. It sounds like a joke right up until the first morning it is not. Nobody has ever regretted packing it, and it takes up no more room than a lipstick. This is exactly the sort of small, undignified detail the glossy lists are too polite to mention, and you will be glad someone did. Which brings us to number 25, the last morning, and the trick is to set it up while you are still relaxed rather than rushed. 2 nights before you leave, if your ship still offers free room service breakfast, order it for the final morning because the buffet on disembarkation day is a zoo and the last thing you want is to fight a crowd for a cold waffle. Do not count on the ship's internet that last night either. Everyone on board piles on at once to sort their travel home, and the signal crawls to a halt. So download your boarding passes and directions earlier in the week while it still works. And when you clear out the safe, use the one pouch trick. Keep everything inside a single small bag so that when you lift the pouch out, you know for certain the safe is empty. That is how you avoid being the traveler who lands back home and realizes the house keys, or worse, the car keys, are still sitting in a locked box in the middle of the ocean. So that is the whole cabin, start to finish. Look back over it and you will notice something. Not one of those moves was about fear, and barely any of them cost a dime. They are just small, deliberate choices that bend a tiny room around your body, your sleep, and your peace of mind. Cruising well was never about being younger or fitter or braver than the next traveler. It is about walking into that cabin knowing exactly what to do with it, and now you do. So tell me down in the comments which of these you are packing for your next sailing and which hack of your own belongs on this list.